Yes, people, what's happening? Welcome back to the channel. First things first, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell notification button. And let's dive into today's video where I am going to be trying to solve Mauricio Pochettino's tactical selection headache ahead of Monday's game against Fulham. As we know, people, we've got Reece James and Malo Gusto both out, so both right backs are out. We've got Ben Chilwell out as well, our first choice left back, plus all the usual injuries that we've got still. Kyle Chukwuemeka has returned to team training as of yesterday, Friday, but he's unlikely to be involved in the Fulham game. Even if he was, he certainly wouldn't be in line to start. So we've got Nicholas Jackson also suspended. So there's a striker dilemma to sort out as well as a defensive dilemma also. So we're going to be going through what I think the best solution to the problem is. There are various different solutions. I will be going through all of them and then picking out which one I feel is going to be the best, because despite the win in midweek, which is great for confidence, we need to start picking up the wins in the Premier League. And this Fulham game on Monday, we've got some difficult selection choices to make. We're going to have to play some players potentially out of position, which is not ideal, but we have done that already this season. And in certain areas, it is going to be a little bit makeshift, exactly like at the top end of the pitch, where we're not going to have exactly what we want. But let's dive into this, guys. As always, let me know your thoughts in the comments below, whether you agree or disagree with what I'm about to suggest here. So this is what I think the sort of the formation should be and the team that I would more than likely be going with. But I'm going to explain my reasoning and then explain the different options that are there. So this that I've got up on the screen now is what I feel Chelsea should start with, or will start with, going into the Fulham game. Obviously, Robert Sanchez is going to stay in goal. The defence is where we've got the key things to sort out. Obviously, we saw Thiago Silva rested, dropped, whatever you want to call it, in midweek against Brighton. We saw Disasi and Colwell do very well in the middle. A lot of people have been saying they'd like to see the Disasi and Colwell situation continue at centre-half. I wouldn't mind seeing it, but at the same time, with the problems we've got at right-back, unless you're going to play Cucurella at right-back and play Ian Martin at left-back, and leave Silva out the side, I don't think we're at a stage yet, or certainly don't think Pochettino's at a stage yet where he feels that he needs to leave Thiago Silva out of the side. So for me, the most obvious solution to the back for them is seeing Levi Colwell continue at centre-half, which is what everyone wants to see, alongside Thiago Silva. Shift out Disasi to right-back, where he has played for Monaco before. Yes, he's not played there for Chelsea, but the position's not alien to him. He knows how to play there. And then bringing in Marc Cucurella at left-back. And the reason I'm bringing Cucurella in over Ian Martin at left-back is because I don't think Pochettino sees Ian Martin as a left-back for Chelsea. He didn't play him there once in pre-season, hasn't played any minutes there at all so far this season either. He's always played in the front line behind the striker. And when Pochettino was asked in the press conference on Friday about the left-back solution, he didn't mention Ian Martin once. He mentioned Colwell, he mentioned Cucurella. He didn't mention Martin as a possible solution there. Cucurella played well in midweek against Brighton, had a really good game, actually played at right-back in the second half, but he had a really good game. And, you know, Pochettino was delighted with this performance, saying he will get opportunities to play. So this game and maybe the next one against Burnley as well are going to be two big opportunities for Cucurella. Now, you see in the midfield here, I think the pivot is the best way to go. I really do believe that. Enzo and Caicedo is the obvious choice. Now, people are going to be talking about Conor Gallagher, whether he's going to come back in. And Pochettino, I think, will certainly be very, very tempted to bring him back in. But one reason why he should not do that is this man here, Cole Palmer. First start for Chelsea in midweek. He was superb, man of the match, assist for the goal. He just makes things happen. You know, you want players in your team that make things happen, that don't shy away from the ball, that when they get the ball, their first instinct is to always try and make something happen. Palmer, every performance he's had for Chelsea so far, the 3 from the bench in the Premier League and the start against Brighton, he's been fantastic. He's been bright. He's looked like making things happen. And you want that sort of player there. And in this number 10 role, I think it's perfect. He can drop deep and come and get the ball. He can obviously move forward as well, and playing off what is more likely going to be a false 9. But you want your ball players on the pitch, on the ball as often as possible, and as much going through them as we possibly can. And having a sort of a proper number 10 there might help out Enzo Fernandez as well. Enzo and can link up with Cole Palmer, play those balls into Palmer as well. So I think that's going to make a big difference for me. And that's why he should be starting over Conor Gallagher. Conor Gallagher's had a good start to the season. Yes, he's been the captain as well. And that raises the captaincy question also heading into this game. But Cole Palmer, for me, and for most Chelsea fans, I think you'd agree, is a must start in that number 10 role, which is why I would have him in the 10 role and Gallagher would have to hold the bench because, unfortunately, in my opinion, yes, he's had a good start to the season, but Gallagher is not good enough to be starting for Chelsea every single week. He's not that important in my view. Mikhailo Mudryk on the left-hand side. Don't need to say too much more on that. 3 games on the spin he started. He looks our most threatening attacker in each of those 3 games. His confidence is growing. His performances are improving. Yes, he's still a little bit rough around the edges, but the manager's pleased with him. So, yeah, there's no reason for him not to continue on that left-hand side. And this here is what I think Poch needs to do, because we're not going to have Nicholas Jackson, because we don't have Christopher Nkunku either, and because Armando Broja is definitely not fit to be starting, and David Washington, who is the other option, hasn't even kicked a ball for the senior team, it would be a huge, huge risk to chuck him up top there. So for me, Ian Martin would play on that right-hand side. Yes, Noni Madueke could be an option there, but again, he's not played a lot recently. He'd be back, in the squad, and I would expect him to feature from the bench if he does at all. So Ian Martin, I think, can do a very good job on this right wing. It's not an alien position to him, and I think he can be very useful for us and also can help Disasi defensively on this right-hand side as well. He can provide that defensive cover there. And then, obviously, this is not ideal, really not ideal, if we're being totally honest. Raheem Sterling is probably going to end up being the false 9. Now, a centre-forward issue, even with a centre-forward, there's no guarantee we're going to score any goals. But as I said, David Washington, in my opinion, not ready. Broja's not fit enough to start a game. And with no Nicholas Jackson, the only option we're sort of left with here is to play Raheem Sterling as a false 9. And we're not going to have much threat at the top end of the pitch. He's not going to provide much physicality. We've got to make sure that we play the ball on the ground. There's no point trying to play the ball in the air because Sterling's not the tallest. He's not the best in the air. He's not going to offer much physical presence up there. And the Fulham centre-halves will probably find it very easy to deal with him. We're going to have to keep it on the deck, play it fast, play tricky little passes, keep those centre-halves guessing. But look, this for me is the best solution to the selection headache, the injury problems that we've got. This for me is the best solution that we have. Look, Pochettino, will he do this? I'm still not confident he will. I still think we'll end up with something. I still think we'll end up with something like this potentially. I think we'll see something more along the lines of this, and we won't see Ian Martin, and we'll see something like this. That again is another option there. That I would be more inclined. Look, personally, what we just had on the screen is what I would go than what I think Pochettino should go with. But if we're being realistic, I think this is what he's more likely to go with. We're bringing Conor Gallagher in there. He seems to love playing Conor Gallagher, and he will obviously end up being the captain if that is the case. But I don't know what the obsession is. But if he does go with this, it needs to be like that. We cannot have it where it's Enzo in that 10 and Gallagher playing deeper, because Enzo in the 10 has been shocking. It doesn't suit his game at all. Gallagher is more natural at that, so he needs to be playing further forward. Enzo is a bit more of a deep line playmaker alongside Moises Caicedo if we're to go with that. Of course, there are other options as well, guys. There are other options. You could end up seeing something like this. Cucurella playing at right back because he played there in midweek. If he wants to play Levi Cole at left back because he doesn't trust Ian Martin there, and then you could see a Disasi and Thiago Silva central partnership there. The other option you've got as well is Levi Colwell in the middle with Disasi, Cucurella playing at left back. You drop Thiago Silva and you play. Actually, I'm going to switch these round. You have this potential situation where you leave Colwell in the middle. Martin plays left back, which I think is very unlikely because he's not played there once. And Cucurella plays at right back, having impressed in the second half against Brighton, particularly in that position. So you've got that option there. Of course, I'd love to see Armando Broja start, and you'd probably have Sterling out on that right-hand side, and then you'd bring Palmer to the middle. You'd have Sterling on this right-hand side. You drop Conor Gallagher, and you would play Broja in this position here. That's ideally what you'd like to do. And, that in an ideal situation would be what you do. Of course, defensively, you'd switch Cucurella to left back. You probably have Disasi at right back. But look, that is an option that, Chelsea would like to go with, but I just think Broja's fitness is not going to be conducive to us seeing that. But I think it's really important that Enzo Fernandez has an actual number 10 playing in front of him. And in Cole Palmer, I think that's going to really, really help him. So this is what I think finally that we should be going for in this game. I think Ian Martson should be playing at on the right-hand side, Cole Palmer on the 10, Mudryk on the left, Sterling playing that false 9, Cucurella at left back, Disasi at right back, with Levi Colwell and Thiago Silva in the middle. And of course, Broja can come on, at half time or in the second half. That for me is the best solution and how we best solve the tactical headache heading into this Fulham game. It's not ideal for us. Obviously, Disasi at right back's not ideal, and neither is Raheem Sterling as a false 9, people. But this is what I think will give Chelsea the best chance, and this is the best solution to solving Mauricio Pochettino's headache. But I fully expect to see Conor Gallagher playing there, Martson not playing, and Cole Palmer shifted out to that right-hand side. But guys, those are just my thoughts on how you can solve the tactical headache heading into the game on Monday. In terms of the captaincy, if Conor Gallagher starts, he'll be captain. If he doesn't start, then we've got a situation where it'll probably end up being Thiago Silva if he plays. If Silva doesn't play, it'll be Raheem Sterling, although I'm seeing potential shouts of Levi Colwell. But yeah, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you agree or disagree with what I've put up on the screen here? What lineup would you like to see? Let me know in the comments. As always, I'm really interested to hear your guys' thoughts. As always, make sure you smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. I'll catch you again in another video soon, guys. Up the Chelsea, take care, and peace out, people.